Seventh grade was an especially awkward time for me. As for most late bloomers today, there's a reason why they dedicate a whole different school for just 2 grades. But this was also when I discovered hobbies, developed a sense of humor, and met my friends, Jessica and Caitlin. There was this one other Asian kid, Alex, in my grade. And every time we passed by him, Jessica would ask him,
"Hey, how's life in widescreen?"
was I supposed to laugh? Was I supposed to stand up for him and tell my friends how extremely racist that joke was? Of course I laughed. I was 13 and wanted to climb the social ladder. The weirdest thing was that Alex actually laughed. He didn't seem to mind, and if he was okay with it, so was I. To hear Jessica say what she did made my life confusing. I was aware that I physically looked different, but certainly felt like I was one of them. We were both born here, grew up here, ate the same hot lunches. From everyone in my life, a lot of my things were said and implied about how Asians should and shouldn't be. It is unbelievably impossible to follow. As my self-awareness grew, so did the list of questions and comments from people.
Can I throw you a drink at this?
I bet your parents ate dog.
Your white sounds so white. Your Chinese sounds so white.
Of course you got it, you dumb.
I fled from Spokane to Seattle and hardly looked back. A rainy city known for good eats, no snow, and way more Asians than Eastern Washington. I knew this was not UC Irvine with 43% Asian population, but UW was a solid 28% of people who looked like me. Comforted in knowing this, I was determined to find my people here. In Spokane, I was too Asian because I spoke Cantonese. Parents owned a restaurant, and I was one of 3 Asian students. But in Seattle, I wasn't going to be the only one anymore. Walking around campus and seeing so many beautiful, varied skin tones was everything I imagined about college. In order to feel a sense of belonging in this huge school, I set my sights to join a club, the Chinese Student Association, CSA. I didn't know anyone else to tag along with to the meeting, so I anxiously walked in by myself. Like most student groups, they lure you in like moths to a flame with free pizza or donuts, but this time, I smelled wafts of fried rice in the air, and my anxiety conflicted with feelings of comfort for home cooking. As I reached for a group to join, I'd hear a lot of Mandarin with occasional English that didn't give me much context. Everyone seemed too busy to talk until a girl greeted me with, "Ni hao," knee-jerk reaction. I told her I didn't speak Mandarin, but spoke Cantonese. Now, Mandarin and Cantonese are the 2 major Chinese dialects, but the 2 languages are so different in their words and tones, I only understood basic phrases. It was just so happened that she spoke both. And within 1 minute of talking, I realized her Cantonese was far superior than mine. She also realized it because I saw her confused eyes and she giggled at me that she could not understand my Americanized accent. This was the first time I had spoken with another Canto speaker outside of my family, and the first time I had to reassess my ability. She used vocabulary I have never been able to use. My parents spoke Cantonese to me, but I'd always responded in Chinglish. I had reassessed my Canto as 3rd grade level, and hers as high school diploma. Not knowing how to properly respond and feeling awkward as fuck, I excused myself to the food in hopes of eating my feelings. I couldn't concentrate on the meeting at all. I could only think about how hot the room felt, my sweaty palms, and my whitewashed accent. I left the meeting feeling just as much of an outsider as I did in Spokane. I never went back to another meeting. I had forced myself to exclusively belong to a certain community, but one made me out to be too Asian, and the other one made me out to be too white. Confused and lonely more than ever, I found myself stuck in between. How can I belong to both? Can I find people to like me for being both?